Buffalo. It is Thursday, August 25th, 2022. Here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. No excuses, just free picks every day. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I had a little bit of a bumpy finish to last night's action. That top of the ninth, and that Diamondbacks Royals game came back to haunt me. But you know what? Still hit our $15 place, so I'm happy. A lot of people made some money yesterday.
I had the Diamondbacks in that one, and I knew I was kind of in trouble because, I didn't love the game. It wasn't my top play or anything, but I knew Singer had been playing really well, and the Diamondbacks. Once I saw they couldn't get to him, I figured they were probably in trouble, and they were late. Witt with the 3-run home run was really the difference, and then the under players get abused with the 2 runs in the top of the ninth.
Yeah, I was on the under in that one as well, so that's kind of where I got toasted a little bit, and the Rays also not coming through yesterday. Haven't needing extra innings to put away the Angels. It was a second time in 3 games in this series, so we'll have to see if they can do it today.
Well, Luke Farrell pitched way above his pay grade yesterday, roasted me, and made me sound pretty stupid in the process. And then, but Jose Urena, always good for blasting, and TJ Zuch as well. Absolutely crushed. It was a miracle double play to save the Nerfy in the first inning. I had the Yerfy there. I had Yerfy, I had first 5 over. I had Phillies first 5 over. I had game over. I gave those all out in the drive-through. And, here they are, bases loaded with 1 out. And I figure, here's my Yerfy. And they turn a miracle double play, shoestring play. And, then the second inning happened, and the third inning, and well, it's the end of the Zooch train. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. He just really absolutely got hammered in that one. Jose Urena just couldn't get out of the second inning. When Marcus Semien bats 3 times in the first 2 innings, you're probably in trouble if you're on the other side of it.
I mean, that was the Jose Urena that paid a lot of bills when he was pitching in Miami.
Yeah,
So
it was good to see him. And my play of the day was my play of the day was the Texas Rangers. So it's nice when you get those my $15 big play. When you get those like that, it's always a relief. But today is, officially 2 weeks from the start of the NFL season. Tomorrow night, Chris and I will be making our Week 0 college football videos as we get ready for college football season. I'm looking at Week 1 ahead, and Chris and I try not to do. I try on college football. We don't do all the games like we do on some of the like on the pro sports. And I'll tell you what, narrowing it down to maybe 20 or so is I'm having difficulty with it. So we might have to just start early and catalog some of these smaller games and some of the other games. It's just I'm finding the tough spots like on the schedule to to narrow it down. I mean, I throw out anything that's an FCS game, right? We just throw it out as far as doing videos, but when it comes to the FBS games, there's still a ton of those. Let's see if I can find where I was working on my worksheet here. Here it is. So this is what I'm down to, Chris, on these games for videos. And if our audience wants to see one of these, or what that we agree should be cut from the list, then speak now or forever hold your peace. Arizona, San Diego State, Kent State, Washington, Texas State, Nevada. I thought about clipping that one. Arkansas, Cincinnati, Utah, Florida, Louisiana, Monroe, Texas. I gotta leave that one. We have to leave that.
you've already put your name next to that one.
Well, it's tradition. It's tradition. It's a traditional game. They play every year. Yeah. Then you got UTEP and Oklahoma. They play every year. That was the Samar J. Pirine. Not Samar J. Pirine, the other Pirine that played for
LaMichael
Pirine, where it was 4th and inches. They went for it. He busted through and covered the 48-point spread. on that play when it looked like they were just going to take a knee and run out the clock, or if they get the first down there, they take the knee 3 times. He busts through the line and to go up by 48, cover the spread. Then you've got
the ass slapping parade on the sidelines.
Of course, a home game for Oklahoma. Then you've got so Memphis, Mississippi State. Do that one every year. BYU, USF. 2 initial games. Short title on that one. Louisville, Syracuse. It's an ACC game, so we'll be doing that. Western Kentucky, Hawaii. Alabama, Utah State. Army, Coastal Carolina. That's a possible, could cut it. NC State, East Carolina. Then you got Oregon State, Boise State. Bowling Green, UCLA. Buffalo, Maryland. Colorado State, Michigan. Now here's another one. Florida Atlantic, Ohio. And on a regular week, I might cut that one if we have, a bunch of other conference games. I usually will cut the MAC. And we do the same in basketball. But I don't know. I'm there anyway. It's just one video, right? And then you've got Georgia State, South Carolina, Houston, UTSA, Liberty, Southern Miss. Now there's another one that could possibly be cut, but why? Miami, Ohio, Kentucky, North Carolina, App State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Rice, USC, Rutgers, Boston College, SMU, North Texas. There's one that you could possibly cut, but do you really want it? Troy, Ole Miss, and Tulsa, Wyoming, which you could also cut. So I see maybe 5 cuts out of 31 games that we could possibly do. And at that point, it's just another 2 videos for each of us.
Yeah. We've already committed to
this. I'm already there. It's like I'm already there. It's not like college basketball where we're going from 110 down to 30. It's like I'm already there. It's like I know a lot of these teams we probably won't cover later on in the season. It's just a matter of it's just a numbers game. It's like you don't want to have too many videos, but yeah, I'm excited about it. I was looking at that this morning. I wrote down, I'd cut them all out. I took out all the FCS games. I'm like, all right, here's the body of work for that day. I'm like, well, where can we cut? It's like I just didn't see it.
And I will say to everybody, if you're upset if we cut that FAU Ohio game, don't be, because we'll get enough action in the middle of the week this season that we'll talk about the Bobcats. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing is that, we don't generally release our videos really early like some of the other channels do. I think the other channels do it to try and get the jump on us. It never works, but they always do that. They always do it to get the jump on us. And it's like, whatever. But anyways, we got tons of games going on today. I've kind of gone a little bit longer on the preview than I normally like to. And, of course, we're going to continue on with the format that we've been doing all week long. And we're going to go right into it. So we're going to start with the NFL, though. We've got 2 NFL games going on tonight. Of course, it's preseason, so tread lightly. It's also the last game of preseason. We got the Chiefs and the Packers. This one's at Arrowhead. The Chiefs opened as a 1-point favorite. They're now 1.5-point dogs. We saw the Packers get it done at home last week. What do you think here, Chris?
Yeah, I was going back and forth and trying to find out, who's going to be playing in this game, or at least how much you're going to see of certain guys. And, I think even if you see Patrick Mahomes for a series, and that's being generous for the Kansas City Chiefs, I personally still think the Packers are the play here. I think, the Packers pretty much have their top line set in stone. Obviously, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers at starting quarterback. And this is where you could get a lot of seasoning in for Jordan Love. He hasn't been great in the preseason. He's only completing about 50% of his passes. But getting him this early experience, I think, is going to be key if and when Aaron Rodgers does step to the side and leaves the reins to Jordan Love. You're going to need, experience like this. And I think that, Love can pick apart the Chiefs' second and third stringers. And bottom line is, for me, I think I don't want to leave, my money in the hands of Shane Buechele or Dustin Crum, who's battling for that third string spot. I don't trust Chad Henne either. So I think Green Bay probably the play for me in this one.
I mean, after my Luke Farrell blew up in my face yesterday, I could hardly get into my whole Chad Henne bit, but actually I can. He absolutely stinks. He could be one of the worst quarterbacks, and he was the undoing of Bill Parcells in Miami. Bill Parcells, the way he drafted quarterbacks, they always had to be a 4-year starter in college. Chad Henne was a 4-year starter at Michigan, but boy, in the NFL, he is absolutely hideous. The king of throwing the ball away when your wide receiver is wide open, streaking down the sideline with less than 2 minutes left to go in the game, and fourth down. It doesn't really work for you, and it's kind of like that in dodgeball. It looks like when he says it looks like Average Joe's is going to have to forfeit the game, and he goes, and Justin Bateman says, we'll have to see how that strategy pans out for him, Cotton. It's it's kind of just like that, right? It's like, Chad Henne is, he's not a viable NFL quarterback at any level, backup, starter, or on the bench. He's, I just don't like the whole stench of this thing. I'm going to go with the Packers here at Arrowhead.
So many great lines from dodgeball.
Duck, dive, dodge.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Duck, dive, yes.
The 5 Ds of dodgeball. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Yep. We've got the Texans taking on the 49ers, and Kyle Shanahan, one of my least favorite coaches, of course, in the NFL, and, up against the Texans, who, probably a little more to play for here than the 49ers. Probably a lot of guys competing for actual roster spots and jobs than the 49ers have. And at the same time, they're home, and we're getting better than a field goal. I think based on all those things alone, I think, that's where I go here. Obviously, we can't dig. It's hard to dig into these games as far as personnel and matchups because we just don't even know what we're going to see. But we know it's going to be in Houston. We know that, if you have the regular season 49ers Texans, based on what we saw last year, it's probably the 49ers. But, it's Trey Lance. I'll be fading him plenty this season. And, we have, a Texans team that, while they didn't win a lot of games, they were competitive, the last half of the season. So remember that game against the Rams where they were down like 1 million points and then they backdoored them, getting 16.5 or something? They were lost by 15 or 16. They were down by like 40.
Yeah, and then snuck back into cover.
Yeah, backdoor, the ultimate of backdoors. But, I'm going to go with the Texans in this one. How about you?
You know what? I've kind of struggle with this one as well. I think I like it maybe a little bit more than the Packers, but probably go with the 49ers money line. I just think that there's a lot of depth for the 49ers at running back, and I think that the 49ers probably win this game. The Texans probably cover. I think it's a 2-point win for the 49ers. I just think they have the better coaching offensively, and I just think that Houston's going to be relying on a lot of their top guys as well this season, like Davis Mills, and they want to keep, all those guys pretty much healthy. So I think you're going to see very little of them, but I think you need to get Trey Lance as much experience as possible. The Niners have already said they're going to play their starters for the majority of the first half. And maybe you take a first half spread if you're going to take a spread in this game, but probably go with the Niners on the money line in this one.
People will complain about a Nationals-Reds series in late August, early September, but they don't say nothing about a Falcons-Jaguars Week 3 preseason NFL matchup. And, it's way worse, It's way worse. Falcons-Jaguars. It's not even close. Anyways, we go to Major League Baseball. I was 2-1 on my premiums yesterday. I hit my 2 early games. I had the Guardians against the Padres. I'm just straight fading the Padres these days. And I had the Rangers were my $15 big play. Chris, what was you hit your big play, right? You had the Astros run line, right?
Yeah, Astros run line I got yesterday. And I was with you. I cashed on the Rangers as well. But 2 and 3 yesterday. Had the under and the Diamondbacks in that game, as well as the other. As well as the Tampa Bay Rays on the run line. So,
well, I think our show slogan for something like that is when you lose the under like that, and also you lose the game. I I think you just say we really went down the toilet on that ugly bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had the D-backs too in that thing. It was not good. Really
I
not
felt
good.
I felt all right in the seventh. I think it was when it was 1-0, but then you saw the run start to come, and I was like, oh boy, well, we're screwed. And then I thought I had the under at least. I was like, you know what, 1 out of 2 ain't bad. And then Christian Walker had other ideas, and I was like, well, crap.
So did you feel left out when this YouTube troll left this comment? I don't know if you saw these comments this morning.
No, no,
Um,
I haven't had a
I
chance.
have it on my phone. I don't think I have it on my screen here. I might be able to get it. Let me see. And I don't want to hurt your feelings, but
It's happened before. It won't be the first time, won't be the last. Just hit me, rip off the Band-Aid.
well, let's see if we can get it on the screen here for everybody. I posted it on my Twitter. Um, I just think that here we go. So let's see if I can get it on the screen here. And so let me see if it'll let me shrink it. All right, so here it is. And it says, this is from Ice Trade the Gang. And he says, this is why I always watch this channel because I know they make dumbass picks, especially Ron. But then he also, at the same time, 5 minutes earlier, had said, this is why I like to watch this channel because I know they make dumbass picks, especially Mitch. So, I mean, he can't spell picks. We understand that. But do you feel excluded here, Chris, that you don't get to make the dumbass picks or he doesn't watch for you?
A little bit, because it seems like it only took about 5 seconds to copy and paste that statement, and it takes only a couple seconds to type out the letter CHRIS and then click post. So I'm a little bit offended. He couldn't make the effort to click on one of my videos and
Yeah,
leave
the
that.
thing I crossed out there is I took the screenshot like this. I sent it to Romanelli and I said, "Which one of us is it?" And he said, I think it's you." He said, "I think it's you."
Well, if I had seen that at first, if I had seen that at first, I'd be like, wait a minute, your pictures aren't that bad.
You
I
know.
mean,
Oh no, he watches it because I know they make dumbass picks, especially, especially me and Ron. Yeah, so you've been excluded, Chris, from this group.
it's something I will work back from. I might have some trouble focusing today and getting some work done. I might lose some sleep over it, but I'll be fine.
Yeah, I think the most credible sources are usually people that can't spell a simple word like picks. I think that to me those are the ones that really I lose sleep over.
Or post the messages that look like the ransom message that's made out of the magazine letters. With like a bunch of like random thrown in uppercase letters, the punctuation's all off, the lettering's wrong.
That's why I always like to watch this channel because I know they make dumbass picks, especially you, Mitch. I love that one. I just love it. Tickled. All right. Let's go to our game here. We've got the Rays and the Angels. It's Drew Rasmussen with a 110 Eastern time start against Patrick Sandoval. Rasmussen and the Rays in that minus 175 range, and the Angels take back, depending on what book you're using. I always just say it's $10, so it's 165, 175. But I mean, these things have generally been. I mean, you're finding 30-cent differentials in lines these days, so you got to shop. What do you think about this gem, Chris?
Yeah, I think this is a great spot to look at maybe an under in this one, but I also really like the Nerfy in this one. The Angels haven't seen Drew Rasmussen very much, and kind of like, the Diamondbacks and Royals pick I gave it on the drive-through yesterday. I think the anonymity for Rasmussen against the Angels is going to play well for him in his favor. Plus, you look at guys that are just in a really bad slump right now. Shohei Ohtani in his last 16 at-bats, just 2 hits. David Fletcher, 5 for his last 26. Taylor Ward, 4 for his last 24. And the Tampa Bay Rays, facing Patrick Sandoval. Sandoval's had his issues, but he's pitched well. It's just been the Angels that can't back him up. 15-5 to the Nerfy this season. And, the first time through the order, especially against leadoff hitters, Sandoval holding him to just a 196 batting average. I got to go with the Nerfy in that one. I think it's my strongest play.
Yeah, for me, it's the Angels are straight ass, and they've been absolutely terrible. And I think when you look at some of the streaks here, the Angels 11-0 or 0-11 against the American League East straight up. It's minus 186 if you're there. The Nerfy against the AL East, 9 in a row for the Angels. So really putting together some really nice trends here. If you're an Angel hater, and I am. So I just don't. I'm not feeling the Angels today. Especially Ron. Especially you, Ron. Especially you, Mitch. Ouch. Anyways, I think he was trying to get personal there. To be honest with you, do you think calling us out by our first name like that is nothing personal, Mitch?
No. It would have went personal if they went full name. Then it's just like they're trying to talk at you. They're not trying to just call you out. They're talking at you.
Well,
like if somebody said, "Oh, especially you, Christopher," I'd be like, "Oh God, what did I do?"
Well, what I did yesterday was I talked Luke Farrell right into a career performance against the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cards out for revenge here. Of course, what we neither of us knew at the time was America's first baseman wasn't going to be playing in that game. Not that is going to make a difference in a game that's as one sided as that one. Miles Michaelis now not looking like a great road pitcher. There, I said it. I feel better about myself. Marcus Stroman hasn't been a very good pitcher at all. I don't know what happened to this guy. The wheels have kind of fallen off the cart on Stroman. But on the other side, Dakota Hudson, he's never really had the wheels, right? So what are you looking at in this one?
I think today's the day where I'm going to look for a lot of. I mean, we saw him yesterday, but I'm going to look for a lot of runs. I'm going to look for a lot of home runs to be hit in this game. The wind blowing out to left field at Wrigley. And Marcus Stroman, he has pitched a little bit better at home, but he still has an ERA up over 6 at home this season. And in 2 starts against the Cardinals this season, Stroman's allowed 12 runs on 15 hits, 5 home runs against the Cardinals in 10 2/3 innings. That includes 3 homers and 9 runs allowed in 4 innings at Wrigley this season. And Dakota Hudson this season has struggled more so on the road, just coming off the start where he allowed 4 runs on 5 hits at Arizona. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, but also look for a few home runs to be hit. So maybe take the catalog on the Cardinals in this one, but give me the over as well.
I think the Cardinals, they're not going to get pushed around by the Cubs on a daily basis, and Marcus Stroman hasn't done anything to make me believe anything different. I think you go with the catalog as well on the Cardinals. It's the first 5, the team total over the full Monty. Just really the full thing there. No reason not to. We go to our next game on the board, and this one's going to be the Seattle Mariners against the Cleveland Guardians. Now, these are 2 teams. If the season ended today, these teams would both be in the playoffs. It's an odd start time for a series that's only in game 1 of the series. It's not a fill-in game. This is an actual series. So tomorrow they move back to a different time. It's kind of odd, that they do this, but it's Marco Gonzalez on the mound, so anything's possible. Chris, the Mariners, yesterday on the show, and I know that this one flew under the radar with my crappy ass pick or whatever, especially Mitch, that I said that Anibal Sanchez fully capable of driving the ship deep into this game and being very much in control. And if you're going to take the Nationals, you might want to think reverse run line. And there it was. The Mariners came back, tied the game late with a home run, and then the Nationals in the top of the 9th with 2 runs to cover that reverse run line. And I happen to have $200 on it at plus 398. So, yeah, I didn't bet a big bet on it, and it's like, like a lot of people out there, it's like, they're always looking, some other stations and some other things and other people, I never bet more than 5% of my bankroll or 10% of my bankroll or whatever. You know, it's like, I don't even understand that, because is that like after you, so if I make a bet, right? It's like, say my bankroll's, I don't know, say it's 10 grand today, right? So say, right? Say I bet two dimes I bet two dimes on the Rangers, right? So now my bankroll is now 8,000. So when I'm looking at 5%, am I looking at 5% of the 8,000 or of the 10,000 to start with? Because my actual bankroll really is only 8,000 right now. Or if I hit that game, that Rangers game, and am I now looking at, you know, at 5% of 13K? So the games later in the day, you're looking at a resized bankroll. At what point are you resizing this bankroll? That's why I always bet just 200 or 300 or 3,000 or whatever, you know. It's like whatever the hell I feel like it on a game. And I say, this is my gambling money, right? This is my betting money, which, you know, I do for a living. So this is basically my money, right? It's there's the money and then there's the other money, and it's all commingled, isn't it? I don't know. How does that work, Chris? Do you know? Any idea?
No.
If anyone out there know, I mean, help me. Just help me out here.
Yeah. Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea.
Anyways, the Guardians made quick work of the Padres, and the Mariners, they really fell apart. You know, in a game that I'm going to guess a lot of the squares, well, not squares, but I guess a lot of the public bettors, the guys that only bet the favorites, they got absolutely stomped on that game, that Mariners game. They must have gotten just crushed.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I'm looking at this one. I'm going to take the Cleveland Guardians here. I do like the Seattle Mariners. They're going to be providing value. They're not. Thing is, the Mariners aren't going to win every game, and they were red hot. Now they're just going through one of those little slumps that every team seems to go through. And the thing for me is that we've seen Tristan McKenzie. He's a lot better than a lot of his metrics would suggest, and especially on the ERA department, but throws a lot of off-speed stuff as well, and that's what the Mariners really struggle to hit. I think you're going to see a healthy diet of curveballs and sliders from McKenzie today. I just expect him to throw another gem. He's been the far better pitcher over his last 7 starts. Marco Gonzalez in ERA up over 6. And I think the Cleveland Guardians get one on the road here to start the series. So give me the Guardians in this one at minus 112.
Yeah, the thing is, I've been riding the Guardians. They're great closers. The last 2 months of the season, every single year, they seem to be the team to bet. And I rode them all the way through San Diego, and not ready to get off the horse yet. I'm with you on the Guardians. We move on to our next game. Of course, tomorrow is Logan Gilbert versus Shane Bieber. Preview for Friday's show. Oh, little teaser, little cliffhanger. It's like the cliffhanger. It's like when Bittler's like, I'll be covering that Angels Rays game on the drive-through today. It's like, no, I've ruined my whole day. I'm not going to be able to take a nap. Phillies against the Reds. I think this is an opportunity to cash the money. This is where that comment came. That Mitch sucks comment was actually on my Reds Phillies video. You can see it right here. Because I took the Reds, and that's why. I think the Reds plus 1.5 is the better bet. But I just, I'll bet that also. I'll say it doesn't take much. I mean, I'm not like a lot of these other guys that, it's like 5% of my bankroll on this, Joe Vegas or whatever. Meanwhile, these guys live in like, $60,000 townhouses or something, It's like, but it's like they're like your financial advisor or something, right? And I'm not anywhere close to that. I'm just like you guys, It's like, things go bad, I start to chase, right? It's like I do the same thing. And sometimes I make bets just on a hunch or, whatever. It's like I just do it. And, generally those aren't my best bets and my premium picks or anything like that. But it's like I'm honest, It's like I think anything I have to prove, I think I've already proved it at this point, right? I mean, I've been doing this a long time and, I've been pretty successful at it. So, I don't know. I just think this is kind of like I'm going to use my Nationals. I'll just say I'm using my Nationals money from yesterday, even though it's all to save money. I'll put $200 on the Reds money line. I'll put 200 on the reverse run line, and then I'll also take a safer play and put 200 on the plus 1.5. So I understand I'm 600 in on a game that I don't absolutely love. I get it, but this is what I do. It's like, the thing is, I got to 600 so easily. It's like, well, I'll put 200 on this, and it sounded innocent enough, right? And all of a sudden, I'm 600 in. It's like the NFL halftime show where I run out of money in my betting account. It's like people are wondering what the pause is. It's like I'm reloading. It's because I got 45 bets out there.
There's people like standing behind you at the kiosk, and they're like tapping their foot. Just waiting.
What happens to me during the halftime shows, and I know it will happen to me again this year. It's like where I will put in a bet for 300 and I'll hit 3,000, and it happens all the time. It happens all the time. And it's usually one that I don't love. Like Cowboys second half against the Packers or something. It's like, yep, happens all the time. I probably do it 5 times a season. It's not like, it happens every couple of years or something. It's probably at least 5 times a season that happens to me. And then I have the decision, do I bet the other side, And a lot of times I would need to make a deposit to do that. It's transparent. That's what you call full transparency. Anyway, you're gonna jump on Noel at the minus 350 here.
Yeah. No, not happening. I might actually come with you on the Reds in this one. I think that Justin Dunn. You look at his 2 road starts since joining the Reds, has not been terrible. He allowed 3 runs in his debut against the New York Mets in 4 2/3, so not horrible, and gave up 1 run over 5 innings against the Pittsburgh Pirates last time out. I might also take the team total for the Reds over here. I'm just trying to find what it is. I think it was over 2.5 at minus 120. I think is a solid bet. You look at Aaron Nola, 2 of his last 3 starts at home, he's allowed 5 runs, and I think the Reds are fully capable of at least scoring 2 or 3 here. If they don't get to Nola for the 2 or 3, I think they'll be able to get to the Phillies bullpen. I could see 6 or 7 innings from Nola, and a couple innings from that bullpen. I could see the Reds getting over that team total. So I'll take the Reds team total over, and I'll also lean towards the Reds plus 1.5.
I mean, hear me out on this one, right? It's like,
okay.
So
this is where all the good ones start.
So yesterday, TJ Zoich was pitching, right? So we know what's going to happen, right? We know there's going to be a lot of runs. It's going to happen early. It's going to, there's going to be some visits to the mound. You're going to get everything, right? It's going to take forever. The game's going to go like 10 hours. But the thing is that the Reds were down big, but then they kind of came back, right? And they kind of scored some runs, and they kind of showed some signs of life. And I think sometimes when teams close the night with some kind of momentum, it carries to the next day. I think sometimes you see it, that little bit of confidence. Kind of like the Royals against the Diamondbacks. They scored a couple runs late the other night. They carried it over. Anyways, I got 600 on the Reds in assorted bets. I don't know what I'll tell you what. It's not even 2% on my bankroll. It's not even 1%, but it's $600. That's what it is. How do they calculate that percent? Did anyone say? Anyone know? Like when they say it's 5% of your bankroll, like is it 5% before the other crappy pick they sold you lost? Is it like 5% after the crappy pick they sold you lost, including the price of the pick, or is that separate than the bankroll money, the purchase? I don't know. It's messed up, man. It's messed up. Dude, that's messed up. And what are you selling today?
Well, for me today, I got my $15 pickoff play. Like I said earlier, we've hit back-to-back pickoff plays. Also gonna have a 3-pack up as part of my Thursday throwdown MLB 3-pack. Have some afternoon action thrown in there as well. But right now, just those two, or the long term pass. Hop on something long term. You're gonna get an NFL preseason. Gonna have some plays for tomorrow, and right now, even a 3 day will get you into college football action. We'll have week 0 up there as well. So definitely hop on something long term and still use that promo code OG15. We're in the last week of being able to use it to get 15% off. So take advantage of that while you can.
Yeah, I don't know what the September promotion will be, to be honest with you, but I'm not going to make it like SEP 15 or something ever again. It's going to be, the code's going to be something like, win, win, win 15, something easy, I have my $15 big play. I have 2 other plays in there in as premium picks. I might add another because I really like the Texans. But outside of that, I don't know what I'm doing for week 0 either. I still am looking at the games. I'm struggling. I picked, you could ask Chris, I put my name on the schedule next to my games like a week ago so I could start studying, and I haven't done it. So I've been doing? Fishing. It's just really when I got into fishing was the All-Star break. I started fishing again. I hadn't fished in a really long time. And now it's like I just love it again. Just fishing all the time. I just love it. It's like every time I catch a fish, you want to talk about my bankroll. It's like that fishing gear. It's like every fish ends up costing, it's like you could have gone out for 15 lobster dinners for every fish you catch. Anyways, we got the Orioles up against the White Sox. If you can figure this series out, you are smarter than everyone in our comments. Romanelli had the White Sox yesterday as his Ron's Rundown $15 play. And it's funny because everyone in the Rundown comments that don't buy his picks, they were all on the Orioles. And then you get the guys that are like, the Orioles killed me, whatever. And I always like to write in there so Ron thinks that if I comment because I'm Pick Dogs, right, on YouTube, that's my thing. So Ron thinks that if I comment as Pick Dogs, people think it could be him. So I have to put -- Mitch make a comment on one of his posts. So it's I went through this whole thing. It's all the people that were like, Orioles blew up my parlay or whatever. I was like, Ron's best play was White Sox. Lance Lynn's been terrible. I know they got rid of Dallas Keuchel, but I felt Lance Lynn could easily deserve the same treatment. What do you think here, Chris?
Yeah, this was one that, ironically enough, if I had to take a roof low on him and take a pass on, I would. I would lean towards the Guardians. I just saw Guardians in the comments. The Orioles towards the value here with Jordan Lyles, just because Lance Lynn has been pitching better, in the month of August he's allowed 2 earned runs or less in 3 of his 4 starts, but it's kind of you never really feel safe because he's always capable of giving up that 4 or 5 run start whenever you least expect it. You always have to kind of look over your shoulder. But Jordan Lyles is capable of that as well. I don't know, just the way the Orioles have played at home this season, I'd probably lean towards Baltimore, but lean at best. Yeah,
I don't love this one. And to me, it's the White Sox. When you think that they're going to win is usually when they let you down. And it's been bizarro world, right, for the White Sox. So I think today with Lance Lynn going, you have to almost take him. He's been so terrible. Just absolutely terrible. Yeah, I'm excited for Jay Briggs to be doing halftime NFL with me. That's going to be fun. I don't know. I've never really done that style show with him before, so it'll be interesting to see because everyone knows those NFL halftimes. I might not always have good weeks in the NFL. I might not always have good seasons or good years or any of that stuff. But my NFL halftime shows are straight freaking money, man. Those things, it's like people will criticize me up and down, in comments and whatever, but nobody ever says his halftime picks suck, They never say that, and that's how you know. It's because if they were bad, you would hear it everywhere. But it's those halftime picks, man. They are straight money. And I think that the picks on this show will be the same way as we continue into this format because it gives me a chance to kind of take some teams and picks that, it's not just based on the odds. I can tell you guys why and all that other stuff. No, actually, Ron is dumbass picks, especially Ron. Thumbs down. X. And what's the other one? No smoking. I don't even know what that symbol means. Danger, stranger danger. No smoking. I have no idea what that signal. Circle with the line through it.
I guess it's just like don't go with it or
This,
avoid.
this,
Avoid.
this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Especially Mitch. Especially Ron. Oh, man. All right, we go to the next one. Got the Mets taking on the Rockies. This is a crap game. Jacob deGrom is minus 450. Chris? With your money?
No, maybe.
What percent do you put on the minus 450?
Can I go negative percent? Like they have to give me money to take the minus 450 because that's ridiculous. Yeah, Jacob deGrom the better pitcher here by a mile, but I don't know. I've gone back and forth on this one too. I think I'm going to go with the over. I think over 7 just too low for a game with Ryan Feltner on the mound. He has pitched slightly better as of late, but I should say as of late, meaning one start, because he still has a 6.48 ERA across his last 6. And more often than not, this guy's given up 5 runs in the start. Now, I would say he plays at Coors. That explains it. But he also allowed 5 runs at Minnesota, 5 runs, 4 earned at Miami. So I think the Mets could do enough to maybe get to this total on their own. So I'll probably take the over in this one. No way I'm going near the Mets at this price.
So X Rush Diamonds is saying that the circle with the line through it means do not enter. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. He can put all those he likes. Sure, Ron appreciates it too. I'll speak for him. I'll put words in his mouth. We appreciate it. Thank you.
I didn't even think of that.
Do not enter. You're damn right. You're damn straight. Double X.
Trespassers will be shot.
And then some.
Survivors will be shot again.
It's like, man. I had one of those exams, man. They knock you out for it. It's like, you're not sure what the hell happened, but something happened. You're not sure what the hell
wake up feeling mint.
Anyways, Jacob deGrom at minus 450 is just a little bit too rich for my blood because we've seen him lose games throughout his career with a bad bullpen, Feltner, and because everyone's going to look hittable after you face deGrom for 5 or 6 or 7 innings. Every other pitcher in the world is going to be hittable after that. It kind of is a primer, right? So I think what we do is we go to the betting tools and we look at the player props here. So I will go to the players. I'll go to MLB. We'll look at the player props for the Mets and the Rockies in this one. And I think when we look at Jacob deGrom, and look at some of his numbers here. Let's see. So Jacob deGrom for strikeouts is, wow. He's not really there. Because he doesn't have the body of work this season. So they show up. Oh, well, never mind. We'll go to Feltner then instead, and we'll go with some home run props. I think Pete Alonso gets back out of his slump here at home against the Rockies and hits a home run. I think Francisco Lindor, I like the total over. Oh, you know what? I think he's off today. Was he off yesterday? He's off today. He's off. They were off yesterday, the Mets, right? They didn't play. So I like Lindor total bases over. Let's see what the prop is on that. Total hits is to get a hit is minus 230. Yeah, it's a little too rich for my blood. All right. What we'll do is we'll just I'll gloss over the subject. Is what I'll do.
Are there two that you can maybe parlay together, get the price down? Like Lindor to get a hit, and Pete Alonso over 1.5 bases or something like that.
I like the do not enter on that one. Do not enter. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. I'm gonna wear a shirt. I'm gonna get a shirt with that on it.
Get it in Spanish too, so that everybody understands. No entrada.
Yes, we can do it.
The French no entree.
Have you ever seen like the sign, like it has cheers in 25 different languages? Skull, salute, cheers, yeah. Right? Like that. Do the same thing. Do not enter in 25 different languages. Do not enter. Yeah. That's odd. It's just an odd thing to say to somebody. Red Sox versus the Blue Jays. I love the over yesterday. It was way under. It took extra innings. It still was way under. I think that was the game that most people lost a lot of money on, because I think a lot of people had the over, and I think a lot of people had the Blue Jays run line. So it was like just a disaster, or Red Sox money line. And so I think it was like the books probably made a fortune on that game yesterday. But today it's Cutter Crawford plus 140 against Gausman. It's minus 160 on the road. We're seeing bad Blue Jay pitchers, big favorites at Fenway Park in this series. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I think the reason that you're seeing that with Gausman is that he's pitched really well on the road since the beginning of August. 3 road starts. He's had 21 shutout innings, and the Jays 4-0 in his road starts since the All-Star break on the road. But I like the under in this one. I think it's sort of similar to what we saw yesterday. Maybe not 3-2, but I could see it being a 4-3 kind of game, 4-2, something like that. I like what Cutter Crawford's brought to the table. He's been better more often than not. He has struggled in a couple of his recent starts, but those starts have come on the road at home. Only gave up 2 runs over 6 innings of work last time, and only gave up 3 runs in 6 innings his last start against the Blue Jays. So I'll go with the under 9 in this one.
Do you think do not enter is just an odd thing to say to somebody or about somebody? I don't know. It's so weird, man.
Maybe he's doing you a favor by telling people to do not enter.
Well, I'm not going to let him enter. How about that? No one's entering. No one's entering. I can't speak for Ron, but I can speak for myself. No one's entering. The hell is that? I like the over in the Red Sox Blue Jays. I'm going back to the well in this thing. I think we see plenty of runs. Cutter Crawford, oh man, he just bores me to tears. And Kevin Gausman, can't stand him. Reminds me of the Kevin Gausman we saw in Baltimore for all those years that everyone was so big on. He was like a bookie nightmare. I mean, a sharp nightmare guy. He was kind of like the Cleveland Browns 2 or 3 years ago, where the sharps bet him every game. And Gausman was the same way. He just totally let them down in a big way. I like the I like the over in this one in the Blue Jays Red Sox. I lean to the Red Sox. I just think that on value alone, I hate this game. Go to the Astros against the Twins. The Twins rallied late against the Astros yesterday, fell short to get Ruffalo's run line cover there with Framber Valdez going. But today it's Luis Garcia, who's got the odd throwing motion, right? It's kind of the hesitation. What is that? What do you call that?
The rock the baby, and then...
Yeah, he does the... it's kind of the white man's overbite dance, right?
Who isn't...
Hit me, baby, one more time.
There's somebody that used, I can't remember who exactly it was. They would stand in the box prior to the pitch and they would just swing their bat back and forth around waist height. And then as the pitch was coming in, they'd wind back. And
I
that's kind of what that reminds me of.
I don't remember. Don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think the Astros carry the momentum forward here. I think the Twins have just had their chances this year, and now they're a 62-60 team, probably going to finish around 500 for the season. On the outside looking into the postseason, meanwhile, the Astros best record in the American League.
Yeah. I can't argue that. I also like the over in this one. Luis Garcia, 5 straight starts where he's allowed at least 3 runs. But the thing is that more often than not, the Astros are able to rally behind him and pick up runs. And I think they're going to do that off of Chris Archer today. Archer, he's still just a 5-inning guy at best, and he has a 5.70 ERA across his last 7 starts. And again, I've just never really been a fan of Chris Archer, especially this season. So I'm with you. I think the Astros, but I also think the over is a strong play as well.
Well, it brings us to our final game on the board, and that's the A's versus the Yankees. Caprillion is plus 190 in this thing. What do you think here?
I'm trying to confirm the starter on the other side for the Yankees.
It looks like there might be a change. It was Italian, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure I saw it was Garrett Cole tomorrow. So, yeah, I might take the under here. I might also actually lean towards the Oakland A's plus 1.5. I know it sounds crazy, but we've seen the A's step up in spots before. They won 2 of 3 from the charging Seattle Mariners in the series before the Marlins series this past Monday through Wednesday. And Caprillion, I've always said this season, he's pitched a lot better than a lot of his numbers would indicate. He's allowed 2 runs or less in 5 of his last 6 starts. I know the Yankees are, an imposing lineup on paper, but I still think there could be some value here with Caprillion and the A's. So give me the A's plus 1.5 in this one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the under in this one. The Yankees have been playing to the under like crazy, and the A's, well, they don't score any runs at all at home, so they're absolutely terrible at home. So it's tough to get behind them even with the 1.5. But I can go with the under in this game. So I think that's where I'm going to land, which gets us to the parlay section. We're doing pretty good on these shows with less games, but we still coming in right around an hour-ish. So we're south of an hour today. Yesterday we were 15 minutes over. So I don't know. We're working on the format, working on the show. It'll be interesting to see when we have a lot more games how we're able to handle it. But so far, so good. And, there are going to be days where we're not going to be able to cover everything. And we know that it's called college basketball season. It's not going to happen. Of course, we won't be covering hockey on the show, more than likely.
Yeah, there'll be videos for that.
Yep, and could be a whole nother show.
But I guess for my parlay today, I'll go with the Nerfy between the Angels and Rays. I'll go with the over 7 Rockies and Mets, and the Cleveland Guardians.
I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Reds. I'm gonna put it with the Chicago White Sox, suspiciously favored in this game against Jordan Lyles, and I'll go with the over in the Red Sox Blue Jays. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Make it a winning day. If you have any suggestions for the show, any comments, anything like that, I'll put it in the comments. If you have any negative comments, well, keep those to yourself. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. Smash that like button.